stop, right there. Before you scroll past this video, let me tell you something that is going to make your blood boil, because WWE just did something so disrespectful, so outrageously calculated, that the entire wrestling community is losing their minds right now. They are replacing the OG Bloodline members, the originals, the ones who built that faction from the ground up, who bled for that table, who took every beating, every chair shot, every Roman Reigns powerbomb with a smile, and for what? To be tossed aside like they never mattered? And get this, the new 2026 Bloodline lineup has already been partially leaked, confirmed by insiders, and some of these names will make you want to throw your remote straight through your TV screen. If you've been a Bloodline fan since day one, since the Uso Penitentiary, since Acknowledge Me, since Solo Psycho was just a silent enforcer with murder in his eyes, then you owe it to yourself to watch every single second of this video. Because the OG Bloodline is not dead. And what's coming in 2026? It's either going to be the greatest resurrection in WWE history, or the most insulting burial we've ever witnessed. Let's get into it. The OG Bloodline legacy. What they built. To understand why 2026 matters so much, we have to go back to where this all started. 2020 Thunderdome era. Roman Reigns returns with Paul Heyman by his side, and something is different. The big dog is gone. The babyface who chased championships and got booed out of every arena, gone. In his place stands the tribal chief, cold, methodical, terrifying. Then came Jimmy and G Uso, two men who had been tag team legends for years but were suddenly reborn. The way they knelt before Roman, the way "I love you" use became the most emotionally charged phrase in all of professional wrestling. That wasn't just a storyline, that was art. Solo Psycho arrived next, and the faction felt complete. The enforcer, the street champion, the silent threat. Solo didn't need words, his presence alone told you everything you needed to know. He was Roman's insurance policy, his weapon, his most loyal soldier. And then there was Sami Zayn. Now Sami wasn't a Bloodline member by blood, he was an honorary use. And that storyline, Sami infiltrating the Bloodline, becoming genuinely beloved by them, then being torn between loyalty and conscience, that was some of the best long-form storytelling WWE had done in over a decade. WrestleMania 39 was the payoff, and the crowd in Los Angeles was electric. Kevin Owens played his part too, the best friend trying to pull Sami back from the edge, the everyman fighting against an empire. That Bloodline era carried SmackDown, carried WWE's entire creative narrative. Those men, Roman, Jimmy, Solo, Sami, Paul Heyman, they were the backbone of a golden period. So when we talk about the OG Bloodline members, we're not just talking about wrestlers. We're talking about characters that changed the industry. Here's your first question. Drop your answer in the comments right now and let's see who really knows their Bloodline history. What was the name of the stipulation match that Sami Zayn competed in at WrestleMania 39 that was directly tied to his Bloodline storyline? Comment your answer below. The first 10 correct answers get a shout out in my next video. Go! Now here's where the pain begins. G Uso left. He said, "I'm not your use," and walked out, and that moment, that singular moment of defiance, was one of the most emotionally resonant things WWE had produced in years. The crowd went insane, but it was also the first crack in the foundation. Then Jimmy turned. Solo turned against Roman. The entire structure collapsed from within, and suddenly the Bloodline wasn't the Bloodline anymore, it was a civil war. Roman Reigns lost his titles. The tribal chief's reign of dominance, which lasted over 1,300 days, ended. And with it, the original version of the Bloodline as we knew it was gone. Solo Psycho declared himself the new tribal chief. He brought in Tamar Tonga Loa, and Jacob Fatu, big names, powerful performers, but it wasn't the same. The crowd felt it. The chemistry wasn't there in the same electric way. Something was missing, and that something was the original DNA of the faction. The OG Bloodline members were scattered. Roman was taking time off. G was over on Raw becoming one of the most beloved babyfaces in the company. Jimmy was doing his own thing. Solo had hijacked the brand, and fans were divided, some loving the new direction, others absolutely furious about it. That tension, that conflict, that's exactly what has made the 2026 Bloodline reveal the most anticipated storyline development in WWE right now. Alright, this is what you came for. Let's talk about who is confirmed, who is strongly rumored, and what the full 2026 OG Bloodline picture looks like. Roman Reigns, the returning tribal chief. This is not a rumor, this is happening. Roman Reigns is returning, and every sign points to him reclaiming his position at the head of the table. The question is how he returns and who stands beside him. Reports from multiple credible wrestling journalists indicate Roman's return is being positioned as one of the biggest moments of 2026, a carefully orchestrated comeback designed to pop the biggest reaction of the year. G Uso, the prodigal son. Here's the one that has fans divided right down the middle. G has been thriving as a babyface. You became a phenomenon. The crowd loves him as a standalone star, but the rumble in the wrestling community is that his arc is heading back not as a villain, but as the conflicted heart of a reformed bloodline. An OG bloodline that isn't built on fear, but on genuine family. If WWE pulls this off correctly, it could be even more emotional than his original departure. Jimmy Uso, the forgotten one. Jimmy Uso has been criminally underused since the bloodline split, but insiders are suggesting that 2026 brings Jimmy back into relevance in a massive way, specifically as the emotional anchor between Roman and Jimmy was always the brother who was caught in the middle. His story isn't finished, not even close. Solo Psycho, the wild card. This is the most complicated piece of the puzzle. Solo declared himself tribal chief. He built his own bloodline. He and Roman are on a collision course that could produce one of the most intense family rivalries in WWE history. But here's the twist some people aren't talking about. What if Solo eventually rejoins the OGs? What if the 2026 bloodline story ends not with a war, but with a reunion? Paul Heyman, the wise man. Paul Heyman is Roman Reigns. That's just facts. Wherever Roman goes, Heyman's shadow follows. And the wise man dynamic in 2026 is expected to be more nuanced than ever because now Heyman has to navigate a more complex bloodline landscape than he's ever faced before. Second trivia question, and this one is harder. How many days exactly did Roman Reigns hold the undisputed WWE Universal Championship before losing it, and who defeated him? Comment your answer below. This one separates the casual fans from the real ones. Let's see who's got it. Let's talk about the bigger picture for a second. The Bloodline storyline didn't just make WWE money, it revived an entire generation of wrestling fans. People who had tuned out for years came back because of Roman Reigns and his family. The storytelling was patient, layered, and genuinely emotional in ways that professional wrestling rarely achieves. The 2026 Bloodline story has the potential to be the final chapter of one of the greatest faction narratives in wrestling history. And when you end something that's significant, you have two choices: you honor it, or you disrespect it. Fans are watching very carefully. They remember everything. They remember the sacrifices, the character work, the slow builds, and they will not forgive WWE if this reunion, this reveal, this 2026 Bloodline moment is fumbled. The pressure is enormous, and honestly, that pressure is exactly why this is so compelling to follow right now. Because when the music hits, when that entrance comes, when the Bloodline acknowledges each other one more time under those arena lights, if it's done right, there won't be a dry eye or a silent voice in that building. That's the promise of the OG Bloodline in 2026. And whether WWE delivers on it, that's the story we're all living through together. So here's where I need you. Do you think the OG Bloodline can recapture the magic of their peak? Or is that era truly over, and Solo's new Bloodline is the future? I want to know. Leave your take in the comments right now. And don't forget to answer both trivia questions. The shoutouts are real and the first correct answers win. If this video gave you something, if it got your blood pumping and your mind racing, smash that like button, share this with every wrestling fan you know, and subscribe because we are just getting started with 2026 coverage. The table is set, the Bloodline is coming, and nothing will ever be the same.